We are back with two men and a lady. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're back. Conscious, how you doing?
I am doing well. I am going to I have a pending $2 trillion lawsuit against an insignificant vlogger by the name of Fupa Moore, okay? Now I am suing Fupa for having man titties. I'm also suing Fupa, okay, for having missing teeth in what's already dentures. I'm also going to be suing Fupa, okay, for having moped engines installed into his 2014 Nissan Maximum. And I'm also suing Fupa for taking up too much damn time in that closet. It's time to come on up out of there, bitch, okay? So I want $2 trillion for my pain and suffering out here. I'm doing well.
Yes. Okay. Well, welcome back to Katie Talk 101. Tell us how our welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. And I just want to thank all of y'all for your positive energy and your prayers when I was down. Thank y'all so much. Y'all prayers are strong and they really helped.
Yes. I'm so glad because you said you had COVID and I was hurt because I'm like, oh my gosh. And you are one of those southern states that don't believe in wearing masks and all of that.
So Republican Wiley, do your credit score. Don't do the South, honey.
I mean, Arkansas is a Republican state.
Right. Texas is a Republican state as well. Don't believe in wearing masks. And you got the virus. What was going through your mind when you got it? Like, were you hurt? Were you sad? Were you scared?
I was all of that. I was hurt. I was sad. I was scared. I felt helpless. Because, like I was just telling y'all, if you don't have any breathing problems, they won't let you into the hospital. Wow. I was running a temperature for like 5-6 days. And that's, on top of the fatigue, on top of the headache, on top of the whooping cough. I mean, I really felt like I was not going to make it. But like, I just had to coach myself. I'm like, Katie, you got a son that's going to graduate high school next year. You got another son. It's a lot of things you haven't seen. It is not your time to go. Get up. Like some just kept telling me to get up. And I got up and I just slowly started getting my energy back. But yeah, I feel
that body, girl, make that body roll.
I fought it. But yeah, it was a good 2.5 weeks. It was almost 3 weeks.
And when you were going through that, I got the news from Pfizer, the FDA approved Pfizer vaccine, because a lot of people were saying, oh, I'm not going to take it. It's not FDA approved. Now it's approved with Pfizer. In a couple more months, Moderna will be passed. So are you going to take the vaccine? Are you?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and get the vaccine. Actually, me and my son are going to get it Thursday. We both going together because, me and my son both had COVID at the same time, but he got through it like in a snap of a finger. And one thing that I did find out too, and I just looked it up when I had it, the people that are passing mostly are people between the ages of 36 and 67. So I'm in that range. So I said I gotta go ahead and get it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the.
Well, for me, I've already took the vaccine because I knew they was going to mandate it. Now, a lot of companies, since FDA approved it, now they're going to mandate that you take it or you lose your job. And of course, the government going to have their stipulations. They're going to try to, but companies, what's happening is the government not saying anything unless you, the president, you can mandate federal workers to wear a mask or get the vaccine. But a lot of companies, now that it's FDA approved, they said, listen, you got to take it or you're just going to lose your job.
How do y'all feel about a lot of the cases that are rising being that of people who have been double vaccinated?
Well, I look at that too. And for me, I'm still wearing my mask. See, I'm not getting wrecked just because I got the vaccine. I use PrEP as example. PrEP supposed to protect you from HIV, right? It's supposed to protect your immune system. But I'm still not going out there allegedly being reckless, raw, just because I'm on PrEP, because you still got to use protection, use precaution, be careful, and get tested regularly. I use that same example with the vaccine. I still wash my hands. I still wear my mask. It's part of my armor. We at war right now with a virus, so I'm gonna wear my mask. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't believe in the vaccine, get tested regularly. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Make sure you social distance. Is that too hard to ask for? It's people that say they're not gonna take the vaccine. They still want to go to the club. They still want, and then when you get the virus, then
I have a recommendation.
What's that?
Why don't we just let people who want to die? Like, it's like seat belts. I'm not gonna mandate people to wear their seat belts. You know what the dangers are. If you want to drive without a seat belt on and you fly through the window and hit a tree and die on impact and got to meet the Lord, that's on you, baby. So I wouldn't mandate no vaccine, no nothing. Those who want to lay low and ascend high, don't get vaccinated, don't wear your mask. And those of us who want to be protected and want to have a few more years on the earth, we do what we got to do.
But the thing I want to say about that is, it's about your neighbor, because a lot of elderly people in nursing homes, that's what I was a big fan of, even though I didn't like it. When they ain't allowed no visitor to visit nursing homes, it was the most sad, depressing thing, because you have to visit your loved ones in the window. You know what I'm saying? And then when your loved one passed away, you can't be in the same room. So I was against that, but I understood it because it saved a lot of lives. Because with this virus, if say for instance, you reckless, right? Conscious, you living at home with your grandparents, right? What if they get it? You know, you are responsible what you bring in this house. If you reckless and everybody else is social distance, but you still want to go out there and pop your, whatever, and don't wear a mask, that's what we're talking about, and that's what's really going on. I'm not going to say that the vaccine protect you completely, because we know cases of people that passed away that were fully vaccinated, right? But if more people take it, I think the cases will go down. You look at Vermont, they don't have the hospitalization like that. The reason why in Katie's state they say, hey, you can't come in the hospital unless you got breathing problems, is because they don't have the beds. They don't have the room. You know what I'm saying? Because people in that particular state, they don't believe in wearing masks. They don't believe in social distance. They go to these crowds, these mega events, and people are getting sick and sick. And you still got those that will not wear a mask. Who was that? I just sent you all the link. I don't know if I sent it to you. Was that Ice Cube? That wasn't Ice Cube, was it?
No. I think that was Busta Rhymes.
You heard what Busta Rhymes said? I'm not.
Oh my God, that made me so mad when I listened to that, Wiley. That made me so mad, because you know what? I felt like that man was on the stage, basically telling people, in another sense, don't wear condoms. I felt like you were being so irresponsible. When people have a mic, they have a responsibility. That's how I feel. When
Absolutely.
you have a mic, you got a responsibility. And you in front of this whole crowd, you just got finished performing. You already got influence over these people. And you telling them, don't wear a mask. Because when you like a girl, she got to see what your facial expression look like in all this other mess. I'm like, oh my God, this dude is insane. I'm not saying he ignorant, but what he was saying was ignorant.
It's very ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Because a mask can protect you, and that's the problem. These people with power and with a voice, they're saying this, and they don't understand. Now, if he get it, he's gonna eat them words up. Look at the next one. Go ahead.
People have to stop with the fool-la-la and do the research, because there's a lot of folk in the comment section who press, and I don't give a damn that they pressed, okay? Because the vaccine doesn't protect you from anything, including severe symptoms. My mother's ex-boyfriend, him and his wife were just hospitalized, and both of them are double vaccinated, and one of them were fighting for their life. His wife died from COVID symptoms and was double vaxxed. He is double vaxxed, got COVID, went into the hospital, fought for his life. They thought he got better, so they sent him home. Then he started having more adverse reactions and then entered back into the hospital. So now he may be on his way to the afterlife with his wife. People have to stop paying attention to the media and actually go and do the homework. The reason why the vaccine is really trippy and bizarre and it's killing some people and it's injuring other people. Nurse Nicole on YouTube, Wiley, She was somebody who was adamantly against taking the vaccine and then took it, and it turned her life upside down. And the media is only sprinkling these type of cases around just so that they can say they were honest to some degree about the other side of being vaccinated. My issue is that regardless of the FDA slapping a label on Pfizer, these all are still experimental drugs.
Well, I could also
all experimental drugs, and you cannot base your reaction off of whether grandma got it and was okay and daddy got it, because the vaccine is interacting with everybody's particular and individual genotype. So that means that I can't look to Wiley and look to Katie as an example that I'm going to be okay, because Wiley and Katie have different genotypes than me. And this is why this crap is fluctuating in terms of the way that it manifests and whether it aligns with people's system and doesn't.
Well, I look at this. I work in a nursing home, right? When it first happened, it was no vaccine. People were dying. It was a hot mess. Now with the vaccine, cases are down. I'm at one particular place that they were hit hard by COVID, but now because of the vaccine, no new cases, no deaths of COVID, no isolation. Like it's COVID free, so it does work. And I use the example: if more people were to get on it, the cases will go down. I think so. That's a scientific fact, because you can look at states that have more people vaccinated, the cases are down. You look at states that don't believe in it, cases are up. Hospitals are just overrun. And
but this is the thing, Wiley.
When you're sick, now it is individual case. You can look at individual case, but I'm looking at the whole, like the whole,
but cases,
the whole viewpoint.
But the cases are spiking.
I'm looking at states that's doing it, and the cases are down.
People who are vaccinated. The people who are picking up the cases that are spiking.
Look at
I think you vaccinated, you still need to wear your mask too.
You still need to wear your mask, and you still need to be cautious. If you look at states that did it right and the people just believed in the science, the cases are down. You look at these states that say, "Who cares? Don't wear a mask. This ain't blah blah blah." Cases are up, and it's particularly in red states.
Yep, you right.
These are the facts here. I think if you don't believe in the vaccine, still wear your mask,
I agree.
Wash your hands, and don't do big crowds. One major mistake that they made is opening up this country, because now people was like, and they got off message. Oh, if you vaccinate, you don't need no mask. They had to change that. And they had to come back. If you're fully vaccinated, wear your mask. They should have never, ever told people that if you're fully vaccinated.
But you know why they're telling y'all that? Because they're hoodwinking and bamboozling the American people, period. That's why the narratives are completely discombobulated from the CDC, are discombobulated from the government. This is why there's so much misinformation. It's not conspiracy theorists that have misinformation. The misinformation came from the top. The government is lying and fluctuating. The scientists are disagreeing with each other.
Absolutely. It came from the top and it got politicized. I agree with that 100%. And even Biden, even though he lied and said, "Well, I never said that," you did. You got on there and said, "Fully vaccinated, you don't need a mask." You said that out your mouth, and people, and they were going to nursing homes, and we had to have a whole meeting. Oh, if you're in healthcare, we're still wearing a mask because we work in healthcare because we got sense, right? But the general public took that and just ran with it. Now it's just mixed messages. They should have just stayed on message and allowed the scientists, and don't be pressured by politicians. Right? Let the scientists lead this march and stay on message. I would tell people, and we're going to close this, people going to believe what they want to believe, right? It was the same thing with the AIDS and wearing condoms. You had folks that I ain't wearing no condom, God, and that was a whole debate. But what I'm saying now is wear your mask, get tested regularly, social distance, and if you're at home with your grandmother or with someone with an asthma or something, look at B-Love's like son. Go to his videos. Watch how he's struggling to breathe. And this man is still in grease. He's still trying, because this is his livelihood. But he's grasping for breath.
Dang.
because he just got out of the hospital with COVID and he need to, take it easy. But you hear it, and I broke down in tears. I'm like, I need people to see this, that this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? This man trying to eat his tacos. Yo, welcome. I'm back. I'm like, what the world? Jesus.
You need to heal up.
You need to heal. And when you're making the money on YouTube, I want to say this to people in the back, and I believe in this. Put some of that money away. Don't spend it all. If you're making $10,000 to $15,000 a month on YouTube, $20,000 a month, put some investments and put some money away. So just in case you get sick, you want to make sure you have something to take. So you don't have to be on the G-tube or on the oxygen. Yo, welcome to my YouTube channel. I need to break down. Hold on, y'all. Like, no. I don't want to have to never be. And I said, Lord, please don't let me have to be in the need where I'm sick. I need to heal, but I still got to break the tea and scrambling for breath. I saw that video and I cried. It was like, listen, y'all. And so they dragging B Love's life right now. Like, tell you, but she can't tell her son. He's a grown man. So we weren't even planning on talking about this conversation, but because of Katie came back and our sis came back, and I'm glad she back, we brought this out in the conversation.
Well, look, I'm not being mean when I say let those who want to die and take their risk and die, because that's what the hell freedom actually looks like. People's right to expose themselves if that's what they want to do. People's right, okay, to get infected and to take their chances off of the way they perceive reality. Mm-hmm. I follow the feedback of my godmother, Iyanla Van Zandt.
But you're not being reckless, though, Conscious.
Wait. What? But that's still a right. Just like people got the right to utilize condoms. You are a man who don't prefer condoms.
Your right is reckless. Listen.
Look, it can be as reckless as it is. It's still, people should have a right to have raw sex. People should have a right to not wear a mask. And guess what?
You have a speed limit. You can't be reckless. Some of this stuff.
People do it. People do it anyway. My whole thing is.
Look at, with this virus, you have to mandate some things. You have to say
no, but you can't do no, but you
can't stop from having crowds though. You can stop.
It is yeah, I understand all of that. Like, I don't have an issue with the social distancing. I don't have an issue with mandates to wear a mask. I don't have an issue with them, whatever. Like but it is unintelligent, unethical to force an experimental drug down the throats for a disease that's still being studied.
That's not real.
Look, Wiley,
years.
Let me complete the thought. If we're gonna argue on behalf of women, right, that a woman should have a right to abortion, that a woman's body belongs to her. People have a right to decide they don't want to put some shit in their bloodstream that they have no idea on how it's going to impact them. Now, when I did the research and saw that doctors, nurses, people across this planet were dying from this jab, those stakes were too high. Out of 1,000 people, one person may die from the jab. That could be either one of us who takes the damn jab. Therefore, that's enough of a statistic for my black ass to take my time considering if I personally want to put what could be my very life on the line for the sake of a virus I can also survive if I contract it.
All right. Well, listen, this conversation, we're going to have to agree to disagree because I don't think we would ever get the majority of Americans to agree on this. Not in this country. Maybe in Canada and other countries where the cases are low. But unfortunately, in this country, baby, they didn't politicize this. It's their right. They're ready to go to a protest. Listen, hey, it's y'all right. Shout out to the parents that's telling y'all, I don't want my kids wearing no masks. It's an American right. All right. Okay.
The right to meet Jesus on my terms.
Now, I want to get to Katie Talk 101. You reported on a story in Arkansas about a trans woman were murdered by a black man. Tell us about that story.
Yes, and actually it was a trans teen. It was a teen. Yes, Brayla had just made the age of 17 when her life was taken. Brayla was pretty popular around the internet for basically putting how can I say this? Straight men on blast.
Wow.
And let me tell you this, like she used to be like on Facebook and Instagram, used to go live and post these guys' pictures, post links to their internet pages, their Instagrams, and a whole lot of compromising pictures. She used to have lives like that. And what I noticed too is that there were a lot of women encouraging Brayla to do this.
To expose man.
Yes. And what I noticed was that some of the women were actually like previously in relationships with these men. And actually a lot of them knew what these guys were doing. So it's like you were encouraging Brayla to do this. And Brayla was getting a lot of attention. And, you know, she liked the attention that she was getting from doing it.
So this friend was exposing man. So the case that happened, did she expose that young man?
Oh, let me tell you what happened that day, the day that Brayla lost her life. She went on Instagram and she ended up saying, I have a very big secret that I want to reveal to you guys. And what that secret was is that she was going to go live and announce her secret relationship with the man who took her life. And he knew she was gonna do that, and he ended up taking her life. He ended up dumping her body like on this real like it's like a walking trail where like a lot of people don't walk, but some people do. Dumped her body in a van, and one of the people who were jogging on the trail ended up running across her body out there in Sherwood.
See, this is the thing that I want to be crystal clear on. I do not like when transgender weaponize a relationship. Shout out to Flame. She's in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Flame.
If you're intimate with somebody that is straight, keep that. We don't need to know who you screwing. And it's dangerous to expose a straight. If I'm a straight man, if I'm a man, have a family, and I'm screwing you as a trans woman, if you're trying to expose me and I don't want that to be out because I already know what the repercussions, they're going to think I'm gay or whatever, things can happen. And we have lost trans sisters because of that. That's very foolish. And again, she was young. This is a trans teenager, and people were egging this on, and now her life is just gone. It's just sad. And that she didn't have, that was very foolish of her to expose that. But let me say this, that does not give you the right to kill somebody because they expose you. That does not give you that right. You just got exposed. Be careful who you sleep with.
Thank you.
But I just don't like the fact that people think that it's okay that I'm going to expose. It was another guy on Facebook. They call him the DL expose, whatever. He used to expose like DL man, record him. And they shot up his mom's house. It was ridiculous because his whole thing was, and he would live stream it, exposing DL man. And that's very dangerous. People will die to keep that secret. They will kill you to keep that secret, to keep that identity of them being straight. I'm not, because you know, if it comes out in the hood, let's be clear, if you're hearing that somebody smashing a trans woman, you're going to automatically say, a lot of people, oh, you gay. You're gonna say that, like, if you're a woman, if you found out you're a man, if I'm screwing a trans woman, Katie, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have that conversation.
And it's embarrassing. But on the other hand, I feel exactly what you're saying, Wiley. But you also got to agree that there's a good amount of women out here that know that their guys are on the DL too.
And they should leave them.
It's always cool when they still together and they're going out and, you know, they together. But as soon as he do one thing to make her mad, she want to run to the trans and be like, hey, blast him.
And that's dangerous because if you're dealing with a DL man, if you don't want to deal with that, cut it off. Like,
Cut 'em off.
and what I mean by cut it off, there could be other things in the relationship. So what do you have to say about this? 'Cause I know this is a lot, this case, because the women that believe that trans women trick men and expose men, they're gonna take that and just weaponize this story. But what do you have to say about this, Conscious?
This is why and I know that we're going to get to Boosie, but this is why the ignorant crap that comes out of these people's mouth is so dangerous, because when it comes to Black trans women, they're the ones who have to actually pay the full penalty for doing what everybody else does, because everybody else in this era is in the business of exposing somebody for some reason, but nobody's losing their life. The underbelly to the deaths and the murdering of trans women comes from the fact that homophobia and transphobia is a rhetoric and an ideology that is still believed deeply and profoundly in by popular society. So this rhetoric around othering trans women, referring to trans women as men, finding ways to dehumanize them, what this creates is a disposable community. Because when you marginalize people, whether that's by way of religiosity, whether that's relay of social norms, whether that's by way of respectability politics, what you're doing is indirectly educating the dominant society and seeing those marginalized people as disposable, invaluable people. So who cares if you take their life? Who cares if they're no longer a part of society? Who cares if a DL man feels the need to just go ahead and get rid of the woman who has his true tea? Okay, and so this is why we combat homophobia and transphobia. This is why the conversations around homophobia and transphobia are going to continue to be real, because despite having T.S. Madison's and Flamin' Rose and Laverne Cox and queer people in positions of power, this is not a representation of what real life ground level LGBT people are going through, which is still assault, discrimination, murder, still being divorced from their households, sold to the streets. Like, this tension in the Black community is still real as it relates to queer people. So these are conversations that we're gonna be having until folks start dying, until they just stop.
I want to say this though. Flame said something at Breakfast Club. I know we're gonna break that down, but it was something she said. Oh, I dealt with somebody with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know if it was a joke or what, but you would never know who that person is, right? And it's a difference with a younger trans woman. They think it's cool to oh girl, I'm with him. You know, I know his tea and all that. But that's very dangerous. And my thing is this: if you're dealing with a guy and you get all type of good peen and stuff like that, keep that private so you can keep that going on, right? But I will tell trans sisters out there, please do not do what that young lady did and use your platform and weaponize it and say this person slept with me and all, because that's dangerous. It will not end up right. And this guy, I think he's serving how many years?
Well, actually, he was about to face the death penalty, but he had copped a plea deal and he got 50 years. He's currently 20, but I think he'll be up for parole when he's 54.
Wow.
Amen.
Oh my gosh.
Amen.
That is so, 2 young lives just gone right now. Like, he's, of course, he may die in prison. He may not survive it, you know, but yet this young lady life is gone. Her family have to deal with this. This is really sad. I was like, where were her parents? Where were the adults? Where were the leaders?
Her mother and father were, like, you know, on drugs and stuff, but her her grandmother mostly raised her.
The entire story was sad, but I'm glad that you brought that story up. And it's so sad because trans women, I don't think, will ever bring that case up, because when people do the research, they're gonna be like, Well, she shut up and put
Oh,
his business
I
out
got
there.
all of those comments in that first video that I made a year ago when Brayla first died. I got all those comments in
Comments. Yeah. And it's
all
gonna
those
come
comments.
from Black women. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of men too.
And men, especially for men too. And my thing is this: if you're dealing with a DL man, and you know he DL, let it go, because you ain't gonna be able to change him.
No, you can't change them. Because one thing about it, and I'm gonna be honest, and this coming from a woman.
You know, I tell women all the time. I do a show, so I'm a show. So if you see my show, you know that I like men as well as women. I like what I like. Some days I like men, some days I like women. That's my urge. I will never ever.
But men, that urge to get a man is strong. That ain't nothing to play with.
That's a strong urge. You know, I get a strong urge. You know what I'm saying? One of my family I want to do on my birthday is men, women, men, trans men, just have a whole all type of it. Just really not. That's one of my fantasies, but I don't want to live on the DL because number one, it's a lot of damn work.
It's stressful.
You gotta cover your tracks, hope and pray conscious don't say nothing, or I'm in a man, he might go live and just blast my ass, and then I gotta explain to all my baby mama, because you know I'm gonna have a couple of them, Quisha and Taquana and Takita, and tell her, oh girl, he lied, and then he leaked the messages, show my peen pics, show my butt pic. You know, I don't send a lot of pictures because once I got, and one of my mentors told me, said, you know why, you're on YouTube, they're gonna try to, you know, you might end up famous. And he said, just imagine you might become a big star. You don't want your ass, or especially if it's bumpy.
If it's a big ass, it can match the big star. If it's a big dick,
but for me, it won't bother me because I talk about my. It really won't bother me. I'm just cautious because it really won't bother me because you already know I like to suck. I like to, especially. Yeah. I like to. It won't bother me. But if I was a preacher on here pretending to be something that I'm not, right? If it come out, it can kind of hurt me because I built this image up that I like women only and try to ignore that. No, I'm gonna let you know I like both. And the women that I want, I really want her to be a lesbian. I want her to be a lesbian. I want her to sometimes get her strap. You know, I want that type of woman, but not a hard. Okay, not a hard looking woman.
Yeah,
I want
not
a very Nick at night, you know, chocolate, Katie talk, you know, that, and then real freaky, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no hard, you look like me. No. I don't want her getting the ladder or getting the fade in the barber and I'm getting the fade. No.
The Boosie fade.
No, I want her in the beauty shop, you know, very feminine, but real nasty, you know. I want to be crystal clear. Like I like conscious. The hair, I like that. Especially if you feminine and you call me daddy. What? You better come.
Hi, daddy.
Yeah, I just like that. I really like that's like my urge. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm free. I can go to sleep at night, I'm free. But I have a former friend, he's in the closet. He gotta hide it. He just left one woman, now he got another one because he's still hiding that. And I see it, and I'm like, oh, and they always get good looking women, picture perfect, you know. And you still like men, and I would just come out the closet. It's a lot of work to hide it. And I said, you better hope that you don't slip up and get it, because them the type that will take you out because they're a deacon or a preacher and they don't want nobody to know. So you got to be real cautious. But I know and I see it, but I will not say his name because again, I'm not in the business of blasting somebody's sexuality. That's their choice to put it out there. Now, if you're trying to date my sister or my mama or something, I'm gonna let them know, hey.
Okay, but see, but doesn't it get complicated when we say the down low? Because what do you say to people? What do you say to people who also believe in discretion? What do you say to?
It's a difference between discreet and down low.
Oh yeah, it is a difference.
So you're talking about somebody who denies in every way.
Conscious. You cannot say I'm discreet and you like men. You gotta let your wife know she is all that. Y'all are one. right?
That's only if you still plan on. That's only if you're going to be in some polygamous polyamory.
I understand it, but your wife should know. She should know. You ain't gonna.
Wiley, if you think that, hold on, Wiley, if you think that women come to relationships being honest about their body count, you are mistaken. If you think that women come to the relationship telling them how many trains done been ran on that pussy, how many times that pussy done been pop locked and dropped in the club, if you thinking they bringing that level of honest transparency, we want these men to be telling all their damn business, girl, y'all gotta be messed up.
I'm saying, no, what I'm saying is, okay, I'm speaking on if you're still dealing with women and men, right? If you're in a relationship, right, and this man about to marry you, and you're still dealing with the opposite sex, with the same sex and the opposite sex, that's significant other. That spouse should know. Your partner should know that information. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hiding something. You're lying. You're not being clear. You should bring that up. Katie should not wake up one day and get a text from my boyfriend, my dude that I'm effing, and say, "Oh, your man ain't tell he's over here." That's hard. Do you know how she's gonna be heartbroken? That's like, oh my God, like,
rip my heart out.
You
Wiley cheating on me with.
And then I come to Katie. Oh, baby, I'm just being discreet. You never asked me.
But Wiley, that's why we got to be careful around the sexuality conversation, because a lot of times there's this undertone of like deception that's not really there. It could be my preference to not disclose those things to my relationship. The only thing my partner needs to know is that, motherfucker, I want to be with you. That's it. I don't need to disclose because here's the thing. So Katie, right, is a cis hetero woman. She knows that any man she dates, she knows by default he's attracted to other women. He's not gonna stop being attracted per se to other women. That's gonna be a given. So he don't need to come in being like, hey, I'm attracted to women. She knows that. She knows he's still gonna find other women attractive. And then for people trying to make this argument that gender preferences and body counts are different, they're not. We're talking about human beings at the end of the day. Whether you're a human is pansexual, whether you're a human is bisexual, whether you're a human is trans. We're talking about people, not animals, not monkeys, not birds, not insects, but people. So no, there is no need to disclose it because it's of a different gender. And if we're just going to practice that level of transparency, all I'm arguing is that let's be transparent about it all. Women, talk about how you let them niggas back in 1992 anal sex you at the house party, at the kid and play house party on top of the speakers, on top of the good table in the back of the room. Okay, let's be 100 about all of it.
I think also too we should, and the reason why I say, especially when you're speaking about sex, I was more so speaking about if you're on the DL, if you're dealing with men, your partner should know. But let's really talk about it. I want to know how freaky Katie Talk 101 is. Right? I can compare. If you may not been the type of person that all you did was missionary. You might did from the back, from the side. I need to know these things. I like, women going down on me, right? And if she don't like that, that's a problem. And I may have to say, I may have to pass on you because I like what I like. And I think that it will save a lot of divorce rates if people be transparent and don't wait 10 oh baby, you ain't satisfying me right. Well then, why y'all couldn't talk about that during the dating process?
Right.
Be honest. I ain't make you come in 6 months.
But wait, though, are we talking about two different things though now? A freak level and your gender preferences.
I understand that, but what I was saying is, when you got into that topic about knowing your body count, I want to know how freaky you are, to see if I can come up to that level. And if I'm not delivering, any women that deal with me, if I'm not delivering, please let me know so I can practice, or you can teach me how to be better. Do not pretend to have a fake organ. I don't like that. If you have to pretend.
I don't like that. I don't pretend.
Say you ain't hitting it right. So let me know. Be honest. What I'm saying is transparency is key. Is what I'm trying to say.
That is so true. And don't wait until you marry a person. I seen someone down in the comment section was like, marrying and dating is different. But don't wait until you get married and be like, okay, I like this and you don't do this.
Right.
I like it like this and I don't think you're into that. Don't get off into that deep commitment of a marriage, and then you want to come out and you want to come with new stuff. Let people know before you make that real commitment. Let them know what you like, because you never know. A person may be able to, everybody not going to, but some women will be able to adjust to whatever it is you like. Whatever it is a man like, it's a woman out there that probably like the same thing.
Right.
Just get with a person and match up with what you like. Like, that's why a lot of people out here, swingers,
I agree with you on that. And someone saying in the comments to the original point of the reason why you should let somebody know you down low, because every woman is not going to be open to that. Just like every man not going to be open to, if your woman like to be. It was a movie I was watching, and I talked about this on the show before. She said, "This is my college roommate," and the guy didn't know that the college roommate was his wife or fiance lover. They were lovers. He didn't know that, right? And he was so shocked, and he was hurt. And I'm like, you should be honest with your partner, especially during the fact if we're engaged. Let me know that you have tendencies to be with a woman, so I can choose whether to walk down the aisle with you or not. If you're positive, let me know if you're positive, to see if I want to be with a positive person. I'm talking about HIV positive. So the reason why I say that is because it will save a lot of headache. It will save a lot of tears. It will save a lot of court costs, because it will save all of that if we just lay it on the table before we walk down the aisle. That's all I'm talking about. That's all that I'm standing for, right? Because I've seen so many women that get hurt when they marry a guy that like dudes, and then people will say, "Well, girl, we all knew that. I thought you knew." Like, if you my girlfriend, let me know that, because I bet my gaydar may not work.
Right.
Especially if we close. Whether you believe it or not, I should let you know. I'm
gonna say this and then I'm gonna shut up.
Okay.
I the whole download, disclose your sexuality is like, we can't lie about this. This is just literally another way for people to be homophobic. Okay. People want, because guess what? If you actually acknowledge that sexuality is a spectrum and that people can like whatever the hell they like, but as long as they faithful when they need to be faithful, you don't have a need, a desire to know someone's preference. The only reason you want to know somebody's preference is so that you can be discriminative in that way and decide to reduce a man because he has affinities and affections toward the same sex. And I'm not gonna let people like try to romanticize or act like there's some real substance to wanting to know somebody's gender preference, when the truth is the underbelly of it is still that freaking homophobia. Okay. And if you're homophobic, just be fine. Like, if you think that a man is less of a man because he likes the bottom, or he likes a little dick every now and again, or he likes to gag on some meat every now and again, just admit that. Stop with all this like doxing the language up, trying to make it seem logical. There's nothing logic. It's homophobic as hell. And I just wish folk would be more like Lil Boosie and just say, you know what? As a woman, I do think less of a man. I do think less of a man. I think more disgusting of a man if he wants to be with another man in some type of way sexual.
I want to speak about that. We're going to get into Boosie. Boosie was on the Breakfast Club, right? And he pretty much said that being straight, you really can't say you're straight no more because people are coming out. He said he don't want his daughter to be gay. If his daughter was gay, he would not go to attend the wedding. That was his opinion. Many people are calling him homophobic. Many people is dragging him on social media, saying that he needs to be canceled. He also took up for DaBaby. So about how many times you've been in a club, they say, if you ain't got HIV and AIDS, put your lighter up. You know,
I ain't never heard nobody say that in the club.
And so I want to bring this to you, Constant. I'm gonna come to you, Katie. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Boosie should be canceled, or how do you think he was problematic? What do you think about his comments that he made?
Canceled. Boosie been canceled since he been a rapper, so he can't be no more canceled than what he already is. He been canceled from the top 100 Billboard. His credit score been canceled him. That remix Hyundai he driving around in has already canceled him. So he's already been damn canceled. Lil Boosie Bad Bottom is so insecure about his masculinity that he thinks masculinity has to be performative. Like a man who's heterosexual is heterosexual. He don't have to perform heterosexuality. He don't have to do things to prove he's heterosexual. Heterosexual is just heterosexual. Masculine is just masculine. So the fact that this man all of a sudden wants to have a conversation around protecting the kids when he didn't want to have these conversations around the way that his violent, misogynistic, rape culture, gang culture inspired music impacts the youth, impacts young people is hypocrisy at its fullest extent. The fact that this man literally had CPS open up an investigation upon him because he decided to have a crack whore give oral sex to his underage son and his nephews is literally buffoonery to hear this man trying to cape for what about the damn children? What about the children, Lil Boosie? What about the little children when your music was inspiring men in urban communities to think that killing one another and pillaging and piling drugs into their community was a come up? When proving your masculinity was shooting up the club, when proving your masculinity was based upon how many women you can impregnate or have sex with or get to perverse themselves. What about the damn children then? These niggas all of a sudden want to become civil rights activists when it comes to homophobia and all things trans related, but have nothing to say about the imagery, the messages, and how their own behavior is a destruction to the Black nuclear family if we're going to have a damn conversation. So I just, once again, don't know why. You know what? People want gay men to come out, and this is a prime example of people, the previous conversation we just had. Oh, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out. And then when people come out and come out in the bundles, it's a gay agenda, it's a gay agenda, it's a gay agenda. And my whole thing is this. Look, stop it. If y'all want gay men to come out, let them come out. But homophobes, come on out too. Stop with the damn children. You're homophobic. Stop with this whole gay people are the children don't need to see them, and you're homophobic, and I need you to come out of the damn homophobic closet your damn self. Let every man testify to the damn truth. So I think everybody need to come out at this point because everybody is bull crapping and bull capping.
All right. What do you have to say about that, Katie Talk? Send this to Boosie. Flame Monroe came in, so producers, send this to Boosie so he can hear this. Go to Katie Talk one-on-one.
Well, in one sense, I feel where Boosie is coming from, looking at the fact that he do have a lot of children. It's probably certain things that he don't want to just, he don't want to say he just approve of certain things because he's raising kids that he don't want to see do certain things. But on the other hand, there's videos out here of he's like in situations where there's other girl on girl activity going on. So it's like you're supporting the homosexuality on one end when it's dealing with the females, but when it comes to the subject coming up about the males being gay, there's a problem. So that's when the double standard comes in. If you don't support homosexuality, don't support it on either end, but you supporting the females doing it, but when the males do it, it's a whole nother problem. I do understand there is a double standard when it comes to the homosexuality, dealing with females and males and stuff like that. And then, like Conscious was just saying about the situation where he brought the woman in, the stripper, and allegedly did some things with the kids. I don't agree with stuff like that. And it's crazy that in the Black community, I have heard of a lot of stories like this. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Trey King show, but I remember a year or so ago, he did a story about a man who put his girlfriend on his little son so he would not be gay. Mm-hmm. So stories like this, I hear a lot of it happen a lot in the Black community about people are just so caught up in, I don't want my boy to be gay, where they will go that far to put another grown person on a child. And if anything, I think doing something like that to a child would really traumatize them and really mess them up when it comes to their sexuality. With someone doing something so devastating like that to a child, and I mean, something like that can mess up a child's mind. But I see where Boosie coming from in a certain stance where he say about the propaganda that's being like pushed on the youth. I can see where he's talking about. I can understand that because but I also think it's up to you about what you let your kids listen to as well. I mean, my kids, you know, are ages 13 and 17. They don't listen to Boosie. You know, I know Boosie, he promotes a lot of violence and he talks about, you know, a lot of stuff that I don't want my kids to listen to. My kids don't listen to him. So it's up to you what you allow your kids to listen to as well. But in a sense, I see where he's coming from. But when the double standard come in and then the questionable stuff about the kids, that just kind of raises a lot of questions about where you're really coming from, Boosie.
And I want to say this about Boosie. Some of his rhetoric is outdated, right? It's because how he was raised. And so his delivery is coming off wrong, right? Because on one end, when he was asked about women on women, oh yeah. And I think the kiss with Lil Nas X was a problem for a lot of people. But the Madonna kiss and wasn't Madonna and Britney Spears, they kissed on stage, and it wasn't, and that was some outrage, but it wasn't like this because in the black race, right, it is still a conservative base when it comes to LGBT. Oh baby, get a group of black folks and watch how they're gonna spirit out. The Bible said this, and they come at it hard, right? And I would expect Boosie to come out and say, I don't agree with the lifestyle. I respect that. That's your opinion, right? Should he be counseled? No. Counsel him. If you don't like it, don't go to his show. Don't get his DVD. Don't get his CD. Don't get any of that, right? And people need to understand. It was a tweet, and I agree with this. And the Neighborhood Talk posted this. They just posted this on the Neighborhood Talk, and I'm going to read it really quickly. The Neighborhood Talk, it was a tweet. Someone said, we all watched My Wife and Kids, Fresh Prince, Family Matters, etc. And that didn't influence y'all to be there for your kids. Media cannot influence anyone to be gay. And that's true, because if we can look at this, most of the content that we see, that I witnessed, is heterosexual based. And I still ended up being bisexual. Most of my peers that I know ended up gay. Most of the content you see, you don't really see shows with two men together, two women. That's the minority in Hollywood, right? The majority, you see a man, you see a woman, just like the Miss Pat show. It's a man, it's a woman. Just like the Bernie Mac show, it was a man and a woman. You can go on and on and on, and you still have a lot of people that ended up being gay, right? Regardless of what it is. So I don't think that it's an agenda with, because if that's the case, it's an agenda on everything. We only talk about this agenda when we're talking about LGBT people. That's the only time. And then you get these people with these imaginary kids. But they're kids. What about their kids? Baby, train up your child in the way they should go. Get at home and all that. Don't worry about it. Don't let the TV. That's the problem. Y'all let the TV raise your kids instead of you raise them. What about my listen? Stop all that. Because if you really care about your kids, you would not let them, or if you're a rapper, preach about violence, degrading women. If you really care about your kids, you will be uplifting the black woman instead of trashing them in your music, right? And just like DaBaby, I don't agree that DaBaby should be canceled. I think he should be educated, right? Say, oh, bro, you know, and he's young. How many of us in our 20s have said some foolish stuff in our 20s, right? I have. I said a whole bunch of stuff. I just thought about, say, Lord, when I become famous, I need to delete my Twitter, because I know they can go back years of 2009, 2010 of the crazy stuff that I said. But you grow, you mature, right? He's young. He's a rapper. It's a lot of people around him. He needs to do it. Boosie came out. Boosie is a character. His tour manager was like, well, I'm gay. I'm like, you gay? I'm like, okay. This is my tour manager. And he was like, well, I'm gay and all this. And I understand and I get it. But Boosie, he's a lot of stuff. He's coming from the South. He's outdated. He's one of those guys. I don't care if women lick on women. I'm with that, but I ain't with no man on man. But he don't want his daughter. So listen to this. He don't want his daughter to be gay, but yeah, he'll have a threesome with 5 other women. So I mean, I get it. It's very conflicted, and he's very sexist when it comes to it, right? And I understand it. He needs to be educated, but gay people, if you do not like what Boosie said, don't buy his tickets. Now I have a problem with you going to his show, buying his merchandise, and you say he homophobic. Because why are you supporting and funding somebody that is like that? I don't listen to the Boosie records. I don't. I never heard of Lil Boosie. They don't play his music in Chicago like that. I never went to the hood and they was blasting a Boosie record in Chicago. I ain't know nothing about Boosie until I got to Dallas. Oh, you know Boosie? Boosie, who that? I'm like, child, he's garbage. Put on R. Kelly. I don't like Boosie. I know. I didn't know who he was until I moved to Dallas. I was eating somebody's booty, and they put on a Boosie record, and they were from Louisiana. And I'm like, who that? I'm like, nigga, you need to put on another record. Man. I can't eat your ass, and you playing Boosie. Put on something else to give me a mood. Because this nigga, he can't rap about him. And
you need a booty licking record.
Okay, I didn't know. I need to be like, give me a Trey Songz, Usher to give me in the mood, whatever. I don't want to listen to no damn Boosie. Anyway, that was that.
You is silly, Wiley.
Play Monroe. That was the first time I ate booty too. Because when I moved to Dallas, I ain't know nothing about it. Because the guy he came and he just scooted. I'm like, what are you doing? I need you to lick this. I'm like, what that? I'm like, oh. Lick. I never knew it. I was new to this. I'm like, okay, so what should I do? I'm like, okay, all right, I did what I had to do. I didn't know nothing about that because when I was in Chicago, I don't want to lick at nobody's booty. Yeah, in Chicago. Now I'm a pro. You know, anyway, I can do a whole course on that. Let's get to Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe was on the Breakfast Club. Flame Monroe said that we just be counseling folks without doing the research on DaBaby. He pretty much Flame said DaBaby did not say if you gay and you had HIV, if you don't have HIV and you gay, put your lighters up. He didn't say that. We just automatically assume that, as well as DaBaby is young, that he shouldn't be counseled. Pretty much that he should be educated. Now look at the ladies in the chat. They say, but if I say I was eating a woman out and make her come 3-4 times, oh, y'all be in my DM. But it's okay. You gotta understand your audience. I understand my audience. Okay? And then
E. coli is E. coli.
I cheated on her with a roommate. Y'all will be all in my DM. Oh, Wiley, let me see the video. Anywho. Okay, so Flame said that, and many people in the LGBT community said Flame is a fake trans woman. She panders to straight people, and she took up for Boosie. She be pandering for a check. Okay, Katie, I will start with you, Koch. I look at your face. I will start with you, because yeah, what do you have to say about that? Conscious, what do you have to say about that? What?
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be reasonable here.
Okay.
This was one of the less disgruntling interviews I have seen from Flame. Now, on a personal level, I understand the I don't give a attitude. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck on an individual level can get you a long way. But the issue about the I don't give a attitude is that it doesn't speak to the more systemic issues around oppression and discrimination and all of this nuance. Discrimination when it comes to housing, discrimination when it comes to adopting, discrimination when it comes to blood donating, plasma donating, things that people are still all impacted by. Now, I can't speak for whether Flame is a real trans woman. That's for trans women to decide if Flame is a real trans woman or a drag queen or a female impersonator or whatever the hell he, she, we actually the hell is. However, the comments about us being rushed to cancel DaBaby, it wasn't a rush. The man went out of his way to say what he said. And then when people were willing to hear him say something different, he doubled down on his statements and added more insult to injury. And then when he tried to reconcile that, his professional apology was littered still with blame for the community holding him accountable. And let's be clear, it wasn't just queer people who overreacted. Heterosexual people are intellectual and educated enough to know that HIV is not a gay disease anymore either, because they're also living alongside HIV. So cis hetero men and women, along with LGBT folk, were outraged, okay? Because there were two separate statements made about two separate groups, two separate insensitivities. So if DaBaby wanted to be educated, the burden was on him to posture himself as somebody who wanted to be informed. The burden is not on us to inform anybody. The burden is on those who want to learn and realize they don't know what they're talking about, to admit that, to acknowledge that, and then put themselves in a position to be taught properly. If DaBaby didn't do that, whatever ass whippings he's taking as a result, he's taking. Now, he's going to be canceled like anybody else for one reason only. Human beings are operating under capitalism. Capitalism is a dehumanizing system, because what it means is that institutions and corporations put the penny before the principle. So you messing with my dollar, therefore you're going to be exonerated. You're messing with my coin and my business and my brand. So to hell with your humanity. That's in the eyes of capitalism. To hell with your humanity. Yes, you're a human. You deserve the right to be educated. You deserve forgiveness, but not at the expense of my business or my brand or my etc. So networks have to do what they have to do, because their interest is in the dollar, in the business, not in your damn humanity. So it's a complex, interwoven situation, but, you know, to Flame's credit, there is something to be said about needing to transcend discrimination. Because as myself, I live as an openly unapologetically queer man. I don't apologize for that. However, my freedom does not also cause me to ignore the fact that there's some real systemic, oppressive, exploitative, predatory issues that queer people are still dealing with in real life due to the religious institutions that are in place, due to the respectability politics that are in place. And irregardless of me feeling well as a queer person does not change the reality for other queer people who are living in systems and families and communities where their lives are in danger every single goddamn day, and not of no fault of their own. So two things can be true at the same time. Yes, you need to not care about public opinion, but yes, you also must be clear about the danger that exists, irregardless of how you personally feel or what your personal liberation is.
Katie?
That's true. I just can't think, as far as a person being able to say, oh, this person is a real, this person is a real trans, this person is fake. I mean, who put these people in charge of actually being able to announce who can be accepted and who can't? I just think, as far as that community goes, I just think some of them are probably intimidated by Flame Monroe, because he is, trans, but he also know that, he still got his hood. He still got his manhood too. But he still is, he's still in touch with his film side as well. So I think with that being, like, with him being so headstrong and knowing who he is, and he's very comfortable with who he is, it can really make a lot of people intimidated. It's kind of like, okay, let's just say this. Back in high school, it was a girl who probably wasn't all that cute, but she could dress and she always smelled good. She kept her hair done and her makeup on nice, and she had a lot of confidence. A lot of people look at her like, you still ain't cute, but that probably was the same girl that could probably take your man. You could probably look up and see that girl out with some of the finest guys that drive the nicest cars. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like, you know, he is a trans, but he still knows who he really is. And I just think, you know, the people that got a problem with it, it's their problem. It's not his, because he confident with who he is and he know who he is. I mean, that's how I see it.
I want to Flame, number one, is a father, right? Been a husband and wife. He have children, some on their way to college, right? Flame have always been this way. If you research Flame, you know that he have always been outspoken, right? And Flame take off the dress and all of that, put on the dress when she perform and all of that. People have an understanding is, and I agree with you on that, Katie, that she's confident in her skin and all of that, and that's good. And she's very, very articulate about how she feels, and that's how more people need to be about that. And she's not offended if you misgender her. That don't bother her as long as the check clear. You know, that's just how she feel. When it comes to DaBaby and Flame and Boosie and whatever, something that Boosie said to me that stuck to me: you can't cancel me because I don't go to those festivals. I have my own festival. I create my own festivals. That is key. Have ownership, investments, own stuff. If you like to go off the cuff and say what you like to say, you better be an owner and not an employee. You know what I'm saying? Because in an employee, you can't come in there, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna get fired. Now, if you're an owner, you get away with a lot of stuff if you own stuff. If you own your own television show, if you own your own record company, if you own your own social media site, you can have a lot of freedom. Now with DaBaby, that what I guarantee you're gonna see him move a little different and start investing in creating his own festivals, creating his own entities. Because I don't want nobody to be at, Wiley, you said that, I'm a snatcher. I want to have so much money where I own the network, I own my own studio. I'll be able to green light stuff, on the channel, the Wiley channel, baby, 24/7. I own advertisement companies. I want to have that much power. So you have to worry about cancer because I own all these entities. So the problem is a lot of these rappers and people want to be outspoken and they're still working in a system and they're still an employee. I want to create my own entity so I don't have to worry about you canceling me, right? You even with Minister Farrakhan, he have been canceled from a lot of sites, right? But he always still got the swag and the power to speak to his base. He still have a powerful entity with the Nation of Islam. He still have thousands of people viewing him because he created his own entity. And that's just something that we need to train our children to, like, hey, be an owner and not an employee. One thing that Roland Martin said, and it stuck to me: be debt free. You have freedom. That is so true. You move different when you're debt free, and you can, you move differently than being in debt. Right. So when I want to say this, another thing about Flame is a comedian. And if you never went to Flame, I've never been to one of her shows. I will go if she come to Dallas. I'm going to go to her show and support. Right. But I've been doing my research. She have always. And when I saw her on there with T.S. Madison, and T.S. Madison said, listen, you call me a man, it's going to be something. Flame said, listen, you call me a man, it ain't going to bother me. She got up there and all that. And T.S. Madison felt some type of way because she didn't like that. It was a little friction. But Flame said, this is how I feel. And we should listen. That's just how she feel. And if you don't like it, don't go to her shows. I'm going to go to her shows. I like when people say something. I'm interested. Like Monique, I went to her show. She been canceled. But I was at that show with Day, and we was in there laughing. And I like that. So, and our last subject.
Can I just add a few things to that real quick?
Go ahead.
To the Boosie situation. since we're in the conversation of ownership, I would love him to own his own social media platform so he can stop begging the CEO of Instagram to keep reinstalling and reinstating his Instagram damn page.
And they brought that up. They brought it up in an interview that he should work on it's another site. I'm sorry, y'all know in the chat. It's black owned, and you can have a little bit more freedom. That's true. Boosie should have his own site, his own website streaming. He should use that power and own his own media company, production company. I know he got some movies coming out. He definitely. I said that before. I'm like, why you keep going on these other stuff, bullying up their own YouTube channel? Create your own social media, create your own Instagram, and invest in that. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that 100%.
And the second part I just wanted to add to the flame statement, I think that what rubs a lot of millennials the wrong way when it comes to flames talking points is that they sound very similar to the talking points of Candace Owens and a lot of conservative blacks who also have this like pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality, and it's unnerving because it contradicts once again the systemic oppression. The reality is that no matter how confident I feel as Conscious TV, because I live my life once again unapologetically, that doesn't keep me from going out on a Saturday night to a bar that encompasses a melting pot of individuals and having some man be perceivably insecure in his sexuality or his masculinity, and then therefore wanting to pick a fight with me simply because I appear to be openly queer. My self-confidence does not keep me safe in the world. My self-confidence and belief in myself and my swag and my faith in God and my self-love does not keep somebody from screaming the F word to me if I'm crossing the street. Does not keep someone from berating me or attempting to intimidate me if I'm in a public space. So when millennial people hear talking points around you should just not care, it's really deducing the fact that people's mental, emotional, and physical safety are being compromised simply because they're queer, not because they're bad people, not because they're problematic people, not because they're entering into spaces wanting to pick a fight, but simply off the strength of being queer. I am entitled to being bullied. I am entitled to having violence incited upon me because I live in a system that is completely disposable. And there are people who don't want to get that. Now, maybe flame talking points come from a different generation where it was okay to kiss master's ass and it was okay to sweep shit under the rug, and you normalize dysfunctionality from cis hetero people and you rationalized that abuse, and you told yourself it was okay to be abused. It was to expect this behavior from straight people. This generation of queer people are not putting up with anything, just like this generation of black people are not putting up with a damn thing from white supremacy. So while there may be generations that were more passive about the discriminations and weaponizations of culture against people, hell no. That time is over, baby. We're gonna shake the pot, we're gonna apply the pressure, and we're gonna make everybody uncomfortable in this bitch. We gotta be uncomfortable ourselves.
I want to say this though. It doesn't, like the comments that DaBaby made, it didn't bother me at all. It didn't bother me. It may bother somebody else, didn't bother me because I don't put that much power in no celebrity. I would never give that celebrity that much power. And I'm 30 years old. I'm 30 years old, so it didn't bother me. But what I will say is that I'm not a component of telling people what they should and should not say. I typically love free speech. I'm all about, I love the beauty of it. And with DaBaby, what it said, it created conversation, it created dialogue, and it feed a lot of channels because they talked about it and made money off of it. But if we're not willing to have a conversation with DaBaby and educate him, it's not going to work. I know, shout out to Kurt Myers with About in Prosperity. He was one of the organizations that reached out to DaBaby. DaBaby should have just, have dialogue and get educated. Flame lived a life that many people will not even get to, right? Being up, having children, right? Working in a male-dominated comedy structure and yet being successful, work with one of the top top comedians, Tiffany Haddish. So her experience is different from a lot of people, right? But what I want to say is don't give these words of these celebrities so much power that it just mess up your day. I don't understand that.
I have a question, Wiley.
That don't bother me what DaBaby. It didn't make. I didn't cry out now one tear what DaBaby said. It didn't make me feel no type of way because I'm like, hey, I never taste somebody yoni and it tasted like water. But hey, okay, but okay, well, please put it in so I can sell it because it's gonna be real good. Anyway, so it really didn't bother me. It didn't bother me.
No, whose burden? Like, when you say we should educate DaBaby, like, when did Baby at any point ask for education? When did he ever say, hey, educate me, please? I'm willing to go live with HIV specialists. I'm willing to go live with queer activists. Like, when did he ever position himself to be educated? Because you threw out like, what can we do if he is not the one positioning himself for that education?
Let's speak on this. Flame said something. What should have happened is black men, right? Should have came to him like, bruh, you got to work on that. They should have came up and said something. And he needs to listen to his team. Because if the man would have stayed on script, just like was it a couple of nights ago, he was at the Summerfest, right? He apologized and he said, yeah, but the rest of y'all crybabies. I'm like, dude, don't egg it on. Just stick to the script. Apologize. Move on so we can forget about it. Don't be calling people no crybabies because they're going to be saying, oh, he said that gay people crab. They're going to turn it and twist your words. Listen, that's why a publicist matter. That's why media training matter. And 50 Cent said something. We don't have that anymore when you go media training. They don't have that. They just give you $1 million, give you all this money and just whoop, go out there, Katie. Be famous. It's no training. Yeah, so we definitely need that. Okay, woo, Lord. Our last topic is Tasha K. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. And I may talk about this in another video. I sent y'all the article. Oh my gosh.
It was something about TMZ. She got caught out by TMZ.
It was on TMZ. Iggy Azalea said, quote, I'm not banging Tristan Thompson. Rumors are bullshit. Iggy Azalea is stamping out a rumor that she's banging Tristan Thompson, going so far as to say she never met dude, not even once. The Australian rapper came out to address a report by blogger/YouTuber Tasha K, who posted a new vlog this past week with the blog claim that Iggy has been sleeping with Tristan. This other reports that Khloe Kardashian apparently wants him back, which she denied. Tasha flat out says, quote, does Khloe know that Tristan and Miss Iggy are fucking? She didn't elaborate on where she was getting her alleged intel, but IA herself, Iggy Azalea herself, has shot it down. She took to Twitter Sunday to deny the rumor, writing, very weird. Fake news, making the rounds about me dating a man I literally never met a day in my life. Like, y'all are really that bored? Iggy went to add, literally have never been in the same building as that man. I do not know that person. This after a Twitter user pointed out it was Tristan who she was referring to and followed up by saying Tasha seemed to have made it all up. The news does in fact out of nowhere before Tasha came out with her so-called tea. There wasn't even a whiff of this anywhere as far as we're concerned. All right. That was TMZ calling out Tasha K. All right. Katie, how did that make you feel? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I heard about that actually earlier today. And I just think sometimes when it comes to a person being a celebrity blogger, let's just be honest, out here in these blogging streets, dealing with the celebrities, especially since, pandemic been going on and all this, people not moving around like that, the news streets are really, really dry. And I just think I'm not saying that it's okay to lie and make stuff up. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm saying is most of the time a lie spreads faster than the truth, you know? And people cling on to the lying gossip sometimes before they would the true stuff. So I mean, Tasha, she been doing this for a minute. She know how the algorithm goes. And then I think she really, accomplished what she wanted to accomplish because she got a response from the celebrity that she so-called allegedly lied on, so she got a response from them. So, I just think Tasha thinking in her mind, checkmate. Just imagine they ended up posting the video, I believe, on TMZ. So just think of all that traffic that is sent to Tasha's page. So she's right at the door of a million. It's the little stuff like that that just get her closer to a million. And as you guys probably heard when she was talking about the Cardi B situation, she said, hey, sometimes I put out fake news. It is what it is. But people still there and they still listening to it. So hey, just keep following the algorithm.
All right.
Tasha is clearly a celebrity blogger who does.
Oh, cuz I think your mic. Did you change it? The sound went out. Like it's like real low.
Who?
Your sound. Yeah.
Is it still low?
Yeah. I don't know if that was your speaker or something.
Yeah, it sounds like something in the background.
Yeah.
Hold
on, I still hear it.
Still hear what?
Okay, it's better now.
It's better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Adjusting things.
Okay.
Tasha K is clearly a celebrity blogger who does what the hell she has to, for better or for worse, when it comes to her algorithm, okay? Now, Tasha K is a self-admitted fake newser. She's admitted, hey, sometimes I don't care. Like, if I think it's interesting to say, I'm saying it, and it's going to be what it is. So I personally approach Tasha's commentary from I enjoy her presentation. I don't really think much about the accuracy of what she says. I just enjoy seeing her lively and performing and being an entertainer, because I look at Tasha as an entertainer. To Iggy's point, Iggy has a right to tell any bitch who got her pussy in a mouth to shut the hell up, because it's her pussy count to say shut the hell up about. And if she said, I'm not having sex with this man, I don't know this man, Celie, leave me and my cooch alone and let Chloe pick up her leftovers. Now, Iggy is known for a lot of things, but a liar, not. She's problematic in other ways, but liar. So I'm willing to believe that Iggy, why would she have to lie about not having sex with Tristan? I think if it was true, at best, Iggy just would not have spoken at all about it. She would have just remained silent versus absolutely denying it, especially in an age where everybody is being put on blast. So she knows that there can be a tendency, if she lies, somebody can scoot around and tell the whole damn truth. So I don't think she'll lie. Like, what would she lie? Tristan Thompson, really? Tristan Thompson?
I love Tasha K. I love her. But one major mistake Tasha made is when she came out, yes, I lied. Shit, this kind of a blogger. I'll be making up stories. Shit, you gonna be here watching. Hit the wire glass. Like, when she said that, she discredited herself. So I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting at home. I got the news about Brother Polite from Tasha K's platform, and I sat and I said, "Oh Lord, should I talk about it? Is this true? This came from Tasha. I don't know if it's true. Is it true?" I was really torn because some of her information, it's not true. So I was like, should I talk about? Oh man, it's about rape. Oh, with 14-year-old girl. Oh, I didn't think I was.
Wiley, you gotta be honest. You gotta be an honest friend.
So I was torn. And then when the media talked, okay, I can talk about it. Because when you came out and said that I do lie, I have lied, I look at you like, oh, is this the truth? And this is it. You got to be very careful with that. People will question your credibility when you come out as a reporter. And you say they will question it, right? It is what it is. And also, too, Tasha, y'all forget about this. I don't know about it or not. She's connected with Cardi in a lawsuit because of lies. This lady lied on me, so she sued. She's in a lawsuit right now. So she's getting the publicity. My fear with Tasha, she's getting the publicity. She's getting doors opened up. She's getting the sponsorships. But will she get the respect in the industry like a Wendy Williams? Will that corner of that market welcome a Tasha K? And I would say no to the industry. Tasha is going to have to build her own entity because they let Wendy Williams in and she's not getting the A-listers on her show. The majority of the popularity of Wendy Williams is when she's throwing shade, you know what I'm saying, her marriage, who she's screwing, burping, falling out. But it ain't with, oh, Wendy Williams interviewed this A-list or Beyonce. You ain't gonna never see that. Why? Because she lied and she look at the the tabloids, she bring it up in her commentary. She don't care if it's fact checked or not. She don't care. She's gonna put it. That's what. So she's not getting those A-list. So that's the thing with Tasha. She's going to have a built-in fan base, but the industry is not going to call her. Who I think the industry will call, and it's just my opinion, that I may see on television, it's my prophecy, is Kevin Samuels. I can see him on BET Plus. I can see him on Juice. Something with Kevin Samuels, I can see them working with him with that. But with Tasha, because she's a celebrity gossip blogger, and some of the stuff hit and some of it don't hit, but it still will get views though because we're talking about Tasha K. But if she want to be respected as a respected journalist, no, that's not the conversation. You're gonna be like, oh shit, did you see that when she's drinking that wine? I look at Tasha and I love her. I love when she get and drink the wine. Oh, child, about to drink this wine, baby. Ain't no naughty, maybe about 2 little sips. Oh, yeah. I love the branding of Tasha K. I'm a fan of it. I don't give a damn who she lying on. It's entertaining. Now, when she said this shit about R. Kelly, now some shit she have said that was the truth. When she said those women, R. Kelly put the shit on their face and they was eating boo-boo. I didn't believe it at first. It was funny, but now I'm reading this on the testimony. So some of the shit that the woman has said was the truth. But when you have lied on some things, people will question even when you speak the truth.
That's true. That's true.
They still want to question it. Especially with R. Kelly, that black woman should get an Emmy. But because it came from Tasha, and because she got that stench of Cardi B lawsuit hanging over her brand, people will continue to question her. Now, if she beat Cardi B in that lawsuit, that's a good old win for Tasha K. But if she lose, that's yet another loss for celebrities, and it's going to armor some of these celebrities. Like, who gonna allow me today? Because I'm gonna take their ass to court. I'm gonna take Wiley. That snotty nose ain't got no lawyer, and I don't have the resources. So at least she got the sponsors, and people said we going out her sponsors. Her sponsors know that they are attracted because her winos, they're very financially supportive. So she do have a base because why she created her own entity. The way how she got to that million, she got to that million by her way. That's why she's going to surpass Lovely T, because Lovely T want to be a respected journalist and be factual. Tasha K said, fuck the facts. Get to the roast of the gag. I'm going to get to this million by any means necessary with my wine glass.
Well, here's the thing about that, Wiley. Tasha is probably going to be able, because the internet exists and podcasts are the thing and personal branding is everything. Tasha's probably going to be able to really capitalize off of the virtual potential of her brand. But Lovely T is going to be able to capitalize off of the mainstream industry aspect of entertainment. So Lovely T is more liable to probably end up on TV and end up on a mainstream network working as a integral journalist, and Tasha K.
You can see Lovely T as a correspondent on CNN talking about something.
Or like on BET on a panel,
I can see that.
Things of that sort.
Tasha, she's already known in the industry. I was on Clubhouse and Joe Budden, Armand, and it was a rap, a R&B artist on there. And somebody asked the panel, what do y'all want to go? Do y'all want to go on YouTube or do y'all want to go to the radio show and get interviewed? One lady got on there. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'd rather go on radio. And then our mom was like, listen, we got to put some respect on these YouTubers. You know, we doing it all this. And the R&B singer or this singer, I don't know. I didn't catch her name. If I were to go on Tasha K, it's going to be 10% about my music and 90% about mess. She could have named anybody. But who did she name? She named Tasha K. So that'll let you know that Tasha is known, that they talk about her in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is what, and this is just truth. Because I heard it. I'm like, oh, she could have named Lovely T, Conscious, Katie Talk 101. That lady said, if I were to go on Tasha K, it would be 10% about my music and 90% about mess. And what they're doing is they think in the business that all YouTubers are like Tasha K.
Mm-hmm.
And go on no Conscious TV. They're gonna be talking about, they're gonna drag you, saying you done screwed Tristan Thompson in the elevator. so that's it is, and they talk, and once word travels, I like hearsay and all, even if it ain't the truth, people get scared. They're like, oh no, y'all YouTubers are messy. Y'all YouTubers, it's YouTubers that will talk about your music and not talk about who you screwing or the dope take up your ass up your nose. So, but it is what it, so you hold power, but Tasha K, it's some wins for her because she got black businesses financing her. Many YouTubers can't say that. They don't have sponsorships that have been with them for years. You can see the Pangea watch them, and he good looking. I went on down on this woman, and the yoni was so good and fresh. And I said, "What are you using? Pangea wash?" Like her skills, marketing is on point. Her husband as a producer on point. You can put Tasha K production skill, and you can put that shit on TV. That's how good it is.
Tasha K is a beast.
She is a beast in that. But when you move on to FCC or television, them lawsuits are real thick. You get away with a lot of shit on YouTube, but a lot of shit that Tasha K, it's nowhere in the world she can get away with that.
Well, let me tell you this. Her struggle is the same as Kaya. She will not be able to bring her version of her brand to mainstream media as it is currently. She would have to do what Wendy did. She would have to really clean it up, politicize it. It would have to be vetted because now it's just not Tasha on the line. It's BET, it's VH1, it's Bravo who's on the actual line. They're not going to come for Tasha when the information broadcasted through these networks are wrong and somebody wants to put a lawsuit out. They're going to sue the network. So
slowly.
And
I want to, and this is a good example, Constance. You're going to love this example. Dr. Larry Reed, when he started, oh baby, this pastor screwed this person and this sister. I got a story. We gonna bring it after darn movie. What happened? How did they screw you? Was the ushers looking? And it was very like it was like that. He was getting all these lawsuits, and then I saw the change where he did regular just commentary. It ain't all this salacious on YouTube about who missionary so and so that screwed you up your ass. And I ain't really getting that. I'm getting regular celebrities, and because you got to clean it up. It's nowhere in the world that he can get all these celebrities and a week before he's going viral because he didn't expose this new pastor sucking on some peen or this first lady banging on this. It's like that you can't. So he never exposed people. What he did was he had a conversation about what was already exposed of the people of what he's. Oh, he exposing these preachers, but he didn't really expose these preachers. People, the victims the difference between Dr. Larry Reed, he did have victims come to him, right? they will come to him and it will be public. Some other publication will talk about, but when it come on his show, it goes viral. And most people don't do their research conscious. It's whatever you watch. That's where you're gonna get your news. You ain't gonna be like what a Christian post. You're gonna be like whoever talked about it, that's where you got your news from. But I did see a kind of change right there. I don't really see somebody recently where, oh, my pastor screwed me, he impregnant. I don't really see that like that anymore. I really virtually see him talking about celebrity gossip and all that. Because if you really want to get these celebrities, you gonna have to switch up your content to get those celebrities. It is what it is, because those publicists are not going to bring you on. I love when he interviewed Michelle Williams and he still talks about the mess when she tripped. That little piece went across the world, went viral, went on TMZ. Give him credit, but he did have to switch up his style a little bit. You don't think he switched his style a little bit?
No, of course, no. He has grown, but he hasn't. His growth has been organic. He's not trying to necessarily appeal to mainstream culture. He's just moving, and when you no longer have to do things because that's not what's coming down the pipeline, that kind of content is not coming down the pipeline. So he's moving forward and doing him and expanding and creating other businesses. And
I love that. And the preaching and the Patreon, it worked for him. And that's what's going to be for Tasha. She's going to create other avenues where people can do it. When she get a story, see, I can talk about the good as well as the bad. And I'm just a commentator giving my opinion. But I love that documentary that she did on, what was that lady name? And she
Jaguar.
Yeah, do you remember how she did?
I like that. I love the way she put that together.
Did you love that?
Yes. Okay. And you know what? I think Tasha will actually create her own lane. Sometimes instead of just trying to follow down the track or the trail that somebody else made, sometimes you got to make your own. I think, and you know what? I think when you make your own, it's going to set you up in a position where you can move the way you want to move, and you won't be in a position where any and everybody can cancel you because you said one bad thing wrong. Because when you make your own stuff and you got your own stuff going, it's not going to be very easy to cancel you, especially when you have a lot of strong people bagging you up. When you got a good fan base that love you, because you got to admit, like when it comes to, for instance, good example, the Tory Lanez situation with what happened with him and that girl. A lot of people was like, oh, he's canceled and all that. But he is a mainstream, he not mainstream, he got his own thing going. What they say, independent. He's independent. So you make yourself independent, then you have a strong fan base. It's not going to be easy to cancel a person like that. So Tasha make her own way. She makes her own path, and she just keep doing her thing. And she got a strong fan base. She gonna set herself up in a position where anybody won't be able to cancel her like that.
Absolutely, and that's the key. And people should learn, if you really want to be your true, authentic self, you must build up a fan base that's going to create you. And then you may have somebody in the industry say, hey, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to say this in my close. I look at Bernie Mac. When he came up, people were scared of Bernie Mac of giving him a show because he was so unfiltered. But they gave him a shot. But if you look at the Bernie Mac show, he had to dwindle the commentary to fit mainstream media. But now you have BET Plus now. Miss Pat saying the N-word, she cussing. It's like, so the industry do change because you have so many other outlets, so many other streaming services that you may see a Tasha K on a BET Plus, something like that, or you may see a Tasha K get a phone call for Netflix. As she continue to grow and continue to get this buying power, a streaming service will be knocking on her door and say, "Hey, sis, let's work together," because she got a built-in fan base. You know what I'm saying? I see that, but if you want to be credible, you can't. CNN can't come out and say, you know what, we are some liars. We're gonna lie, so we ain't gonna trust it. I never heard Fox News that get up and say they lied. Fox News that do what they gotta do, and they're $1 billion business. But I never heard Fox News say, Oh, we lied. We a liar. Even Donald Trump, he never say, believe me, I am a liar. He just gonna lie.
He just gonna lie.
But I never heard Donald Trump say, I am a liar. Believe me, I lie. I come on, he just lied, right? So when you say that, people will remember that and they will use that against you, even when you're reporting on something positive. Okay, well, this was a good show. We're back.
I think that this is our longest show yet.
Yeah, this is our longest show yet.
Back in forever.
Yes. Yeah, we did owe it to the people, honey.
It's been weeks. Okay, so Conscious, tell us how they can get in contact with you.
Conscious TV, you already know, on YouTube, Conscious TV on Instagram. I just interviewed Conscious Lee, who was a huge TikToker and activist. He's freaking amazing as an educator, and we had like a full plate dialogue about just self-actualizing as a Black man and overcoming the cards you were dealt in life and how to participate in moving the world forward. And we talked about the gay agenda. We talked about so many things concerning the Black experience. So people should really check that dialogue out. It was really, really, really dope.
Okay, Katie, talk one-on-one.
Oh, yes. I know I've been gone for a while, but I will most definitely be back tonight around 10 o'clock, 10:30 for a live. I got a lot of catching up to do about a lot of stuff that's been going on. The Brother Polite thing, I'm going to discuss that, and a few other things that I got to play catch up with.
Subscribe to their channel. I'm so excited. I'm hot, really, because I see the air off. I got all these lights burning. But I'm so glad I have to go and finish up my paper because I'm in school trying to get this degree for criminal justice. So we want to thank people. And if you want to donate to me, $ Marquise Wiley 28, so I can pay, continue to do what I have to do. And I thank you for that. Shout out to that. Shout out to the one. I want to give her a shout out. She edited my work. So when I submit it, it's real good with no grammatical errors, and I have an A-, and I have to thank this woman. And I'm going to make her the co-author of my book. Definitely going to make her something and give her. She deserves something. So I'm definitely going to get her information and give her like some flowers, money, whatever it takes. That's why I'm back working, so I can like really put this lady on payroll because she edited like my posts and like. Anything if I'm under some mess and I need to write out a professional statement, baby. And, and she put it out, so I want to thank her.
Tasha out there in the chat.
Tasha in the chat. No, we were talking about the TMZ.
Wiley was dragging you, Tasha. He was dragging the heck out of you up here, girl. Dragging your ass, baby. Get up, Tasha.
I was not dragging. What I was saying was, it was an article of TMZ that if you say that you are a liar, people will question your stories from that point on. Oh, you said you was a liar. I don't believe this. It was a young man, when it comes to Brother Polite, he was in his car and he said, people are questioning if Brother Polite is innocent, saying that he's innocent because it came from Tasha K. If it would have came from any other entity, it wouldn't have been no question. Oh, the man again. But because it came from Tasha, they questioned it. But it went on the media, and the media verified and word for word of what Tasha K said. That's a win. When it comes to R. Kelly, what R. Kelly said, about the boo, what the victims had to eat his boo-boo. And they testifying right now, crying, saying they ate the man boo-boo. That's another win. But when you have said, I've lied, or I lied, this entertainment, or when you say that, it sticks with a lot of your critics and they use that against me. I look at Tasha K as an entertainment entity. I love her expressions when she break down. What y'all want to say? And then want some pussy? Like I like when she talk. She know the camera is on. She dominates the camera, and her words move powerful. A lot of YouTubers would have not be YouTubers really if it wasn't for Tasha K. Tasha K have birthed a lot of smaller channels. They just put her name in the title and they get views, right?
Yeah.
So that's a success. The thing with Cardi B, that is going to follow Tasha K for the rest of her career, especially if Cardi B continue to be successful and grow. That's going to follow her, and that was a big piece. And I've told people in private, and I was saying in public, I said Tasha K had to do what she had to do to become famous, and become a big international person. So it's just what do they call it? It's just a casualty of war. Cardi B just became that casualty. But Cardi B, if I were Cardi, I would have never sued Tasha K because you made Tasha K bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever she say, people still gonna follow her. They still gonna tell you that. Now TMZ Tasha K never had TMZ coverage until the Cardi B lawsuit. So you put Tasha K in the same premises of TMZ, Entertainment Tonight, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune. You put her Shade Room. You're putting her up there because of that lawsuit. That lawsuit is and who really?
Here's the thing about Cardi though, Wiley. Cardi went ahead and sued Tasha K because she know Tasha gonna make it any goddamn way. So it doesn't matter if she don't pay Tasha no attention or do. She know Tasha is going to hit Olympus.
I don't think she that smart. I think that Cardi B was mad that Tasha wouldn't take down her videos. She didn't like because she don't like people drag her. I don't think she that smart. Well, Tasha K gonna be a real.
Yeah, but let me tell you though, out of all, but you gotta think about it, Wiley. How come out of all the people that drag the Shade Room drags Cardi, like so many blog sites put out a lot of interesting news about her. But she actually focused and fixated in to Tasha K because she knows that Tasha's word, for better or for worse, is going to hold some merit. And she knows Tasha is the type of bitch who going to kick the glass ceiling. Cardi knows Tasha is coming. That's why she went ahead and did it.
Also, too, Tasha K, it was certain stuff that it was so funny. Right? If you may not agree with it, herpes B, yeah, so herpes, upset, yeah, cheat, yeah, bumps on her lips, her schemo fucking. Like, it was just like the stuff she'll say with a straight face, and I'm like, who the hell is schemo? People was Googling schemo, I interviewed schemo, but she said her schemo was fucking. Schemo got her in the game and started calling her herpes B and all that, and she would go on Instagram and then it was really something. And I think Cardi B said, "Listen, I'm tired of this black woman coming for me. I can't be the bigger person. I'm just gonna sue her." And what Cardi B thought, she thought once I threaten her with this lawsuit, she gonna just delete the videos. But she didn't know because of Tasha is finance and became bigger and bigger, and people are continuing to contribute to her more and more. She said, "Listen, let's go to trial." Cardi B never would have thought that Tasha K would have said, "Let this go to trial." Right. The judge said that if you go, you can look at the court records. I'm gonna say allegedly. The judge said if you go to trial, you gonna lose. He said this to Tasha K people. And pretty much people said we want to go to trial. So because I can't speak for Tasha, but I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, how I look at it, it's gonna make her bigger because this trial, people are gonna cover it all on YouTube, all on TMZ, whatever it is. She's gonna gain from it, even if she had to remove that video.
But you gotta understand, Wiley, Cardi B has an agenda too, and her agenda is to show vloggers and to show the public that y'all not gonna get away with murder with y'all damn mouths out here. So I'm gonna choose one of y'all to make a damn example out of because I'm gonna set a precedent for power in this bitch. So they both got agendas, and there's something that they both believe they can gain from entertaining the situation.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true. She wanted to show an example of time, but she didn't know that this gonna take. And now she pregnant, and Cardi said, "Listen, I gotta." Her lawyer's like, "We can't go." They're supposed to be in trial this fall, but she's pregnant, so she is postponed up. I think in September, I think, right? Because she's supposed to, have her baby. So this is good for Tasha. But what it would do for any other blogger that want to do that, just know you got to have your money up because Tasha ain't broke. She ain't out here like some other bloggers. Donate to my legal fund. Donate about legal fund. She ain't doing that. She to this, so Tasha producing content. She's not just stuck on Cardi. With this other person, donate to my legal fund. Or he named me in the lawsuit. I feel like, dude, like this is embarrassing. Your people didn't give you.
Oh, they don't like that kind of teaching, Wiley. They don't like that kind of teaching.
No, right? Because Tasha got the money. Don't you do what Tasha can do? Because you ain't got no money. I ain't got the money like that. Because I'm gonna be here donate to my legal fund.
No.
We owed an attorney about 5,000 producers. On that to my lawyer. He gonna drop me if you don't get to my money. But Tasha got the finance. So if you want to play big girl, put on your big girl panties, you must have the money to do that. Dr. Reed got, and see, you can't tap on people's shoulders that got the finance to drag your ass in court. That human being, if he would have listened to me last year, even on the phone, I said, I think you need to stop because he's going to take you to court. He didn't listen. The man got the money. And then when I started reading the court documents, and baby, when I started looking at how much money Dr. Larry Reed made, good God Almighty, let me start a church and let Katie talk be my first lady. When I saw the amount of money that man is bringing in, I would have never said that something about that. I'd have passed on that.
And let's just be clear. Larry plans on dragging that person with every good God-given brown penny in his bank account, baby. He going the long, torturous, tormenting, painful way through this court system. Oh, nasty, slow drag. See, that's how the church fathers and church mothers do you. Oh, slow punishment, baby. We're going to draw this thing out long and hard for you.
It didn't happen faster than Cardi, because you remember Cardi, like the processor looking for Tasha. It was a little lengthy while because she was, but not with Dr. Baby. He got served quick, fast. It got into it. Them papers.
Dr. Larry Reed is petty.
Yeah,
pettier than most people even know. Okay.
He told me, well, I'm not responding. It's going so low. I'm suing. And he sued. He ain't like some of y'all. I'm going to sue. And you ain't got the money to sue.
He about it.
He actually
a man.
Did, so.
Yeah. He gonna be about it. He ain't going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank y'all so much for watching. This is a 2-hour live. We got to retrain this live because this was fun. Wow.
Make sure you be the one who be taking your time with 2 men and a lady. We done got a little flyer together. We done put in all this work to get situated, and you still be dragging.
Really? We needed a break, and I'm glad, not glad, but when Katie said, she's like, okay, that was good for us to have a little break and come back strong, and we really did. So we want to say shout out to Tasha coming in chat. We also say shout out to shout out to Dr. Reed, but also shout out to Flame for coming in. But we would love to have some of these guests on the show, so we will continue to reach out and everything. We're not going to beg you. We're just going to ask, and we're just going to continue to produce good content. So thank you. Make sure y'all go to Katie Talk 101 channel. When she go live, I'm going to share it to my community wall, because you going live, Katie, or you doing a preview?
I'm going live. It'll be about 10:30.
Oh, at 10:30. So we're going to share it and make sure y'all do that. Thank you all so very much. God bless you. I'm hot. I want to put this air on. I need to write this paper.
Okay. Bye. Sweaty. Literally harder than a whore in the church, baby.
Yes, I'm hot. And this show was really
baby. Your Whitney Houston is coming through, sugar.
I swear, he is glossy.
Glossy, baby. On his Jermaine Jackson shit, baby. Throw some salt on that nigga. Dry him out, honey.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all in the next live. Peace. Oh man, this was fun. Oh my gosh.